Hello, my name is Nafiz Rahman, and I'll be giving you a presentation on value engineering and its usage in the construction field. Value engineering is the optimization of engineering solutions by cutting the most amount of waste while maintaining or exceeding its original goals. Value engineering was created in World War II, where Lawrence Miles said something's function divided by its cost, which would give its value. This simple equation would lead to an entire genre of engineering that would be used extensively in both the private and public sector. A study was done to look at the construction industry specifically, and what it found was that unfortunately 74% of the participants were lacking in knowledge about value engineering and were thus underutilizing it. In order to wring out the most amount of value from a product or a process, value engineers must use a variety of tools and techniques at their disposal. FAST, or function analysis system technique diagrams, help show the process in a how and why relationship rather than a to-do list to achieve an objective. Value stream mapping is another visualizing technique that entails listing out every material and process in a flowing manner, which should highlight if any components are slowing down or speeding up the overall process. Value benchmarking is another process that involves looking at different parts and components and comparing them across various fields in order to ensure that the most optimal component is chosen moving forward. Designs of experiments is a practice of carefully choosing an experiment and designing it in such a way that it does not need to test every single combination, but rather removes the combinations that have a low chance of producing quality results. While this does save time and money, it should be noted that extensive knowledge of the topic must be needed beforehand in order to be effective. Another important philosophy for value engineers is life cycle analysis. The value that a product brings does not end at construction, nor should the work of a value engineer. Infrastructure holds no value if it cannot be maintained. The last technique is a Pareto analysis. Pareto analysis looks at a small component or a group that makes an unproportionately large effect on the overall project, and to see why is that the case. It is the job of the value engineers to use all of these tools in order to help cut down on waste inside of the project. While the construction industry has not peaked in its usage of value engineering, it has been used in some cases. One of such cases is the construction of schools in Libya. The Libyan government brought in the third party Education Facility Authority in order to conduct some value engineering. Using some previously mentioned techniques, they were able to save around 30% compared to what was originally planned to be spent. In the Kuwait, the government was not so much concerned with money, but with being more environmentally friendly. Through the usage of new technology and making more complex designs, they were able to save 70% of the total energy throughout the entire life cycle. The final case study was done on highways in the United States. Through constant benchmarking, lifecycle analysis, and additional reviews, the Federal Highway Administration was able to save $20.9 billion. However, this has pushed construction as multiple reviews were needed to be done. Throughout all these projects, engineering required additional time, money to be spent in order to find innovative ways to from experts in their fields. While this pushed construction timelines and reduced the budget, the money saved from taking these extra steps were more than well worth it. Value engineering has proven itself within these case studies and is why it should be a dedicated step within the construction process throughout the industry. Thank you for watching my presentation regarding value engineering in the construction industry.